The Mirror of Suffering, an inquiry into the interconnectedness of pain. To take pleasure in another's suffering is to plant seeds in a garden you will one day be forced to harvest. This truth, as ancient as human consciousness itself, reveals a paradox at the heart of existence. Our lives are bound by a fragile reciprocity that mocks the illusion of separateness. The German term Schadenfreude, joy in another's misfortune, is not merely a moral failing but a metaphysical error, a failure to recognize that pain is a universal currency, endlessly circulating through the human condition. To celebrate its presence in another is to ignore the shadow it casts on your own future. The illusion of division. Humanity's greatest illusion is the belief in the autonomy of suffering. We compartmentalize pain, treating it as a private burden, when in reality it is a thread woven into the collective tapestry of existence. The Stoics warned of a more fatty, the love of fate, not as passive resignation, but as an acknowledgement that fortune's wheel turns indiscriminately. Seneca, in his letters, cautioned that no one is exempt from tragedy. What is today your lot, could tomorrow be mine? To revel in another's downfall is to forget that the same forces of chaos that upend their life govern yours. Suffering is not a solitary event but a shared language. To misunderstand this is to misunderstand reality itself. The Buddhist lens of interdependence. Buddhist philosophy dissolves the boundary between self and other through the doctrine of pratityasamutpada, dependent origination. All phenomena arise in interdependence. No pain exists in isolation. The Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh writes, "We are here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness. When we delight in another's anguish, we feed a karmic cycle that perpetuates collective suffering. The pain you dismiss today may return tomorrow, reshaped but undiminished, for the universe operates not on justice but on balance." Compassion, karua, then, is not virtue but wisdom, an understanding that the sorrow of the other is already yours, awaiting its moment to manifest. The existential absurdity of superiority. Existentialism, too, dismantles the arrogance of Schadenfreude. Albert Camus, in The Myth of Sisyphus, frames life as inherently absurd, a meaningless struggle against indifferent forces. In this void, solidarity emerges as the only rational response. To mock another's suffering is to deny the absurdity that unites us. It is a desperate attempt to assert control in a universe that offers none. Nietzsche's concept of ressentiment, the bitterness of the powerless, explains Schadenfreude as a coping mechanism for those who fear their own vulnerability. Yet this false triumph only deepens alienation. As Camus writes, "Do not walk behind me, I may not lead. Do not walk in front of me, I may not follow. Walk beside me, and be my friend." The ethical imperative of humility. Kant's categorical imperative demands we act only on principles universalizable to all rational beings. If every person rejoiced in others' pain, society would collapse into predatory chaos. But deeper than Kant's duty is Emmanuel Levinas's claim that the face of the other imposes an infinite responsibility. To encounter suffering, even in an enemy, is to confront a mirror of your own fragility. The 13th century poet Rumi captured this elegantly. The wound is the place where the light enters you. To scorn another's wound is to reject the light that might one day heal your own. The alchemy of compassion. To refuse Schadenfreude is not passive piety but active alchemy. It transforms pain into connection, fear into empathy. Viktor Frankl, surviving the Holocaust, observed that even in despair, humans retain the freedom to choose their response. To meet suffering with gladness is to surrender that freedom. To meet it with compassion is to transcend it. The Stoic, the Buddhist, the existentialist, and the ethicist converge here. Our response to pain defines not only our character but our destiny. The unbroken circle, a call to conscious compassion. Life guarantees no one immunity from suffering, but it offers endless opportunities to transmute it. The Persian poet Sa'di wrote, "Human beings are limbs of each other, created from the same essence." To fracture this unity by rejoicing in another's pain is to invite karma's silent reckoning. Yet to meet suffering with empathy is to forge a covenant with the universe, a vow that when your turn comes, as it inevitably will, you will not face it alone. But this covenant demands more than passive understanding. It requires action. Begin today. Interrogate your reactions. When you witness another's pain, pause. Ask yourself, does my response harden or soften the world? Schadenfreude thrives in thoughtlessness. Compassion begins with awareness. Practice radical humility. Remind yourself daily, this could be me. The colleague's failure, the stranger's disgrace, the rival's despair, each mirrors a possibility your own life has narrowly escaped. Let this truth dissolve judgment. Transmute silence into solidarity. Do not merely abstain from cruelty. Actively extend kindness to those who suffer, even, especially, when society deems them deserving of their pain. Send the message, I see you. I am here. Cultivate the garden of shared humanity. Every small act of mercy, a withheld laugh, a gesture of aid, a refusal to gossip, plants a seed of resilience. These seeds grow into shelter for others, and ultimately for yourself. The 14th century mystic Julian of Norwich insisted, all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. But this wellness is not fate, it is a collective project. The light that enters through another's wound may one day illuminate your own darkness, so walk forward with this pledge, I will not feed the shadows. When suffering knocks on another's door, I will meet it not as a spectator but as a witness. I will tend the fragile threads of connection, knowing they are my own lifelines, and when my turn comes to kneel in the ashes, I will remember, the hands that helped me rise were shaped by the compassion I chose to sow. The circle remains unbroken only if we dare to hold it together. Begin now. This revised conclusion bridges philosophy and praxis, urging readers to transform insight into habit. By framing compassion as an active, daily discipline, rather than an abstract ideal, it challenges readers to become architects of a more empathetic world, one conscious choice at a time. The call to action is both personal and universal, echoing the essay's core thesis. Our fates are entwined, and salvation lies in how we honor that bond. Conclusion. The life on this planet, as is set up for us, no one is immune from suffering, but it offers sometimes opportunities to transmute it. To be glad for another's pain is to fracture that unity, inviting karma's silent reckoning. Yet to meet it with empathy is to forge a covenant with the universe, a vow that when your turn comes, as it inevitably will, you will not face it alone. In this recognition lies the sublime irony. The pain we shelter others from today may be the pain they shelter us from tomorrow. The circle remains unbroken. To understand this is to grasp the most profound truth of existence. We are each other's keepers. And in that keeping, we find salvation.
Please tell me what you think and how you feel about this issue. Analyze it, brainstorm it, debate it, and if you like it, please share it. Thank you for watching. I truly and highly appreciate you, and God bless you.